Welcome back, everybody, to landing the qualifiers for Season 5 of the North American Strikers League. We are about to get into things between PPL and Modern Magic. Saya, we got the chance to watch a little bit of Modern Magic last game versus Pass. They ended up taking Game 2 in 3-1 fashion. Of course, winning Game 1 there as well. So they're coming back into this. Both these teams have something to prove. PPL, of course, is a team that hasn't been in the league since Season 1. And here is Modern Magic, which is a series of 3 players that largely have been on the come up. Of course, Forgot has been in this league before, but his 2 teammates have been names that have been pretty well-known entities for quite some time, but now are trying to break into the upper echelon of play.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fateful matchup because PPL's NASA spot is actually Chikara Chatting's NASA spot, and Bloom and Carmine were 2 of the players on that very roster that took first place in NASA last season. And now they face off, and you couldn't write it better. Only one could make it. PPL's here because of them, and Modern is also here because of Carmine's efforts, so it's really which former chatter will be on top here.
We're about to find out as the draft unfolds in front of us. That is most likely a Mako forward for Fiery. Do not let that deceive you in pick 4. And then otherwise, pretty standard stuff to expectations here. There's a chance where this, the Ivy and Drek could get flexed either way, but I don't actually know which way that's going to go now that I think about it more. Saya, I assume it's Drakar goalie, but we don't know that for sure.
I think it's Drakar goalie. I don't think Ron P plays that IME all too much. So
yeah.
We have seen Forgot on the IME as well. So it'll just be what it is here. I think the biggest question in this game is how they look immediately on start, because I think both these teams have impressed me so far today. They both fell to the same team in winners, and we'll see how they do.
We'll see as we load into Striker Select. Game 1, of course, taking place on Night Market. This was presumably the pick of Modern Magic, correct?
Yes, yeah. This was Modern Magic's pickup. This is side select going to the side of PPL on this one.
Yeah. So we'll see where this one goes. Of course, we also saw Average Alex in the last series versus EKC put on quite a performance on Kai in terms of just how actively he was able to pressure. And now picking up Twin Drive in addition will mean that he'll have even more speed coming through on that blazing pace every so often. Most everyone Twin Drive except Ron P on the Drakar going over for that missile propulsion, a little bit of extra range, which paired with the strike shot will mean quite the influence for this Drakar.
Yeah, and Carmine on Night Market having this Rasmus is very mobile. Speed is king, we say it so many times, but Carmine has shown excellence with this pick on this map and many others. And if Carmine can get set up by Forgot, that could be it. But a great save by Bloom, the rebound caught by Carmine, and the first goal will be going over to Modern Magic.
For those of you wondering, I assume that's just a emote they picked because they find it funny. Yeah. But that is the University of Wisconsin River Falls logo. For those of you that would like to know, of course, way back in the day, you could get your collegiate organization's emote added to Omega Strikers, and many schools took advantage of that. So instead, they're spamming this. I believe they're the Falcons. Ironically, just like Storm the Keep.
Or but maybe that's the emote that will be in the community emote pack, like reskinned to be their logo, perhaps.
Maybe.
We'll just have to see in the future once that gets updated after the qualifiers end, but we're only halfway through. This is the last match of the first half of the qualifiers. This is the conclusion of Group A, and that's a KO found. Was that a snipe by Ron P with the Molten Bolt?
I think it might have been. Yeah, it came from downtown to take out Average Alex, and Core goes in for Modern Magic. And, I think in between these two teams, Saya, we got to watch both of their series versus EKC. It did feel like Modern Magic pushed EKC a little more. It felt like many more of the points were closer, and it felt like they were able to come up with some success of their own. Of course, PPL took a game over EKC, but let's look beyond that for a second. I think we know what happened there. So I do think PPL's on the back foot, which is unfortunate, right? This is the team that wants to be in this league, that believes they deserve there. They feel like they've been in NASA forever and just can't quite break through. You're going to have to put on quite the showing here in their final chance at Season 5 qualification to come out in the top league. But right now, it's all Modern Magic, as they'll find the goal barriers and Forgot will come in with the Cyber Swing.
It is looking tough because Modern Magic is covering a lot of options here. It is looking difficult for PPL to get anything going, as Modern Magic seem to be there first, be there more often. With the stacks on stacks pickup, that additional speed is going to be quite overwhelming. There are plenty of good awakenings here for the Rasmus, who is going to be picking up the start of some spark, scaling with the spark of resilience on a single spark. None other showing up in this draft, none in the starters, so that single spark is going to be very valuable heading later into the game.
And there's a possibility, too, where, next up is Spark of Agility, which is, we say speed is king. I think it's even doubly so for the kind of scoring brawler that Carmine is on this Rasmus. So having the option to potentially pick that up later could be incredibly beneficial. And especially in a world where you don't have a lot of other speed on your team, right? For PPL, the best thing you're looking at is the blazing pace and whenever the Flutterfly comes out from Bloom on the back line, and of course the drum and bass. There's a lot of speed, but Fiery generally going to be very immobile, right, on this Mako. Goal is just try to stand there, shove the core through with the ensnare drums, and call it a day, but if it never gets back there, it'll be difficult to do so. And it'll be even more difficult to do so when you get KO'd as another one comes through. Bloom will use the energy burst for the goal barrier, but it'll get sent away. Carmine not able to pull any fancy tricks with a core just yet. There's been enough in the way in terms of interruptions to prevent that from happening, but have to imagine that could be coming soon. Now finds the pendulum swing against Average Alex, although goal barriers open for PPL. Get trapped up in these snare drums to the top corner. Forgot lends it down. It'll get that energy burst, and now has it. Looks for a beautiful pass, but Bloom was ready for it. And oh no, it goes back the other way at a weird bounce off that night market middle. Okay.
If you're PPL though, you take those every day of the week.
Dude.
A strange bounce, but it's still a point. It's still a very small lead here for PPL at the start of this one.
Even still, feels like it could be an uphill battle, though they'll have to use everything that's given to them in the next little bit. Worth noting on a Mako Brawler, perhaps, thinking of the build different, not a terrible pickup. What, a little bit of extra damage, right, on some of your main abilities, and then additionally the size, but even still, target of KOs has been what it's been so far. Another one goes off. Power play not capitalized on that quite that time. And Carmine still can't quite find the core. Fiery back online and looks for the core. Here's the energy burst, and that one will go straight through the midfielder and goalie of PPL. Well done to find the bottom corner.
Yeah, Bloom played that point very, very well. Had some amazing holds, had the primary at the right time, bewitching beam the core to the top side. But in the end, you're still an error goalie in an open net, and eventually you will get scored on. So it's a bit tough if the offensive PPL can't find its footing. But right now, Fiery, with the perfect pitch, stuffs it through the firewall. Sentry Gets it through twice, basically, with a single hit. And with an open net, Alex and Fiery need to find something, but Carmine stuck in the bottom corner. Ron P has plenty of room to work with, and these Sarah drums go wide. A flip burned as Bloom sends it back forward, but it feels like the power play has just started for Modern Magic.
So low on stagger already, withering the storm, but not able to stay alive through it. Average Alex will go down, but penalty opportunity is denied once more. Average Alex back online. Immediately pops everything to go forward, but can't get it down to Fiery. Here's the blazing pace again. Now looking for the goal. Can't quite find it yet, and now it goes back the other way. There's the pendulum swing. Carmine opens the barriers. Average Alex tries to get it out of the corner. Will get it past one. Now it'll go behind him. Carmine still in position. Beautiful Molten Bolt keeps it forward right now from Grand P. Bloom is still ready on the back of lines. Able to dance around and keep the core out. There's dropping back on the cloak. Grand P. Pick it up and has an energy burst of his own here as well. Beautiful angle, but Bloom's still ready for it that time. Average Alex tries to give it forward again, but feels like no team has real solid control of the core. It just keeps going too fast, and everyone tries to take the shots where they can. Yeah. Fiery now slowed. Can't do much of anything, and now it's going to drift slightly by. No.
Not how you want it to end, but that is how that point concludes in the favor of Modern Magic, who has built up quite a lot of energy. Fire and Bloom the same on the other side, and these flips will define how this early point plays out. Its Sarah drums are good, but the flip's even better, and they get it out of danger for the moment. They still get two barriers, though. A good rebound catch by Average Alex as they push forward and perhaps look for a goal here before Fiery can be taken out.
Low stagger, though, from Fiery. Has to be careful. Can't position in the goal box where he wants to be. And now, oh no, weird bounce, and that means that Modern Magic gets to capitalize. One gets taken down. Forgot now, dribbling, looking for Carmine. Average Alex in the way and is winning the vast majority of these strike wars, thanks in no small part to the extra speed from the blazing pace. Helps him just slightly position better. Get ahead and take care of business. Forgot will cyber swipe forward. Now looks for it again. Here's the energy burst in front of two characters. Waits it out and finds that goal barrier. Carmine sends it forward with a pendulum swing. Not quite there. And now tries to do some fancy stuff there. Can't quite do it. But the pendulum swing connects. Forgot now. Bottom corner. Bloom does have energy burst. And it'll go back to the other side of the pitch for the moment. Forgot looking for Carmine again. But Fiery in the way. Well positioned in order to deny that pass. But this time it comes in hot. Bloom still ready for it. Able to send it away, and he's doing incredibly well on this era, but even still, sometimes you just don't have the ability to get there. And it is another set one for Modern Magic.
And that's really unfortunate. Bloom was holding it down for so long, but eventually you run into the limitation of the character. You're basically only left with Strike as era, and the strikes were so perfect until the very end. Egoist gonna be the pickup here, and Spark of Agility, it's given over. It's not worth denying here. You give up too much power on the side of PPL, but that's to the gain of Carmine, who gets that extra stagger, extra speed, and it is just looking grim for the PP Legends.
What did we say earlier, Saya? Speed is king. What do we see from Modern Magic? Stagger Swagger pickup, Spark of Agility pickup on someone who already had a Spark, and Egoist pickup as well. All three Speed Awakenings on the board here for Modern Magic. I imagine it's going to help them execute some of what they want to do even slightly better. They're not afraid of finding some of these KOs, certainly as they have so far, but they're going to be able to position that much better. And now goal barrier is down. Here comes Forgotten on the cyber swipe. Carmine patient, back and forth, baits out as many cooldowns as possible. Could have gone for it there. Might have had an opportunity, but it gave Fiery enough time to get back, and now comes through, back over to Forgot. who sends it forward. Beautiful back and forth play, patience, and just baiting out as much as you can from Modern Magic. You have to guess when they're going to go, and finally they did, but not before it was too late.
Oh.
And Bloom appears to be the one that is not moving.
I'm not quite sure.
Oh!
Because they did pause like before the point started. But
Yeah.
but to have zero confusion whatsoever, you play out the point and then you stop.
Well, while we wait for word on what's going on in this one, worth noting, of course, it is game point now for Modern Magic, given by that last goal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough situation because Modern Magic has the awakenings necessary to secure points very, very solidly. The big thing is the Egoist, right, on Forgot. Not going to come into play here because Flip is available. But it looks like we're resuming play. And they do have a lot of energy generation there, and they're very efficient in moving the core up the field. And, of course, the weakness of the era is when she's forced into the goal box against two people who are just passing back and forth. And that's a KO found by Forgot. Oh. So they're really exploiting the weakness of the era goal here.
Yeah, certainly. And the extra speed is helping them do just that. Forgot now looking forward. He'll find the pass to Carmine, and that'll be the first game on the board here for Modern Magic. Of course, they'll need another one, but hopefully everything with the pause was okay. We'll have to double check on that before resuming game 2. But yeah, I mean, obviously, PPL comfortable trying to go for this era goalie idea, but it feels like, especially against this team where you've got this Rasmus that wants to take over in your own goal box, I feel like it's going to be incredibly difficult to keep that era sustained, especially, I assume it's probably because you're looking for Fire to go even further forward, and that's one of the best speed buffing characters for someone else. But even still, it's just difficult to get that to pan out and keep a solid hold on the defensive side.
Yeah, and really dominant performance from the side of Modern Magic here. Carmine and Forgot in particular. Of course, Rompy held it down, but I think a lot of that was due to the forward duo just being very active. They were extremely good at core controlling, passing back and forth, and making sure that Bloom just didn't get any room to find a clear. Era goalie again, limitations of the character. You basically only have Strike as your reliable defensive option. And when that happens, it's really difficult.
Looking at the redirect numbers from the last game, too, I'm just going to read them all out. Fiery, 97. Average Alex, 158. Bloom, 103. Meanwhile, Carmine, 108. Forgot, 185. Ron P, 127. Every roll higher in redirects in that last game for Modern Magic. It just felt like they had more control. Plain and simple, right? And that's the exact kind of game that they want to play, and they were able to play it and play it they did to great success. So we'll see what adaptations could happen here in the future as we continue in this series. Of course, next one up is no, we just watched Night Market. Oni Village is the pick from PPL. Now, we don't see that often, but even still, a map where core control, speed, very heavy, very present, feels like this could be difficult side.
Yeah, it feels like Forgot and Carmine are going to thrive even harder on a map like that. Bloom's probably just going to be locking in a lockdown goalie, though, which might throw a wrench into those plans.
Yeah, we've seen Bloom pick up the Atlas numerous occasions. In fact, to the point where it was banned in the EKC series for 2 of those games. And I would frankly be shocked to see him not opt for that here unless it gets banned away. You were KO'd a decent bit, especially by Forgot's IME, which was able to put out enough damage. So having the intervention could be helpful here or there. But even still, this is going to be tough, right? On it, this feels like it might as well be Modern Magic's home turf.
Yeah, we will see what happens. Modern Magic have side select, so they're probably going to go to blue side here.
Yeah.
And
let's talk through that briefly while we got a second. Blue side, we see teams go for, it feels like 90-95% of the time. What are the case scenarios where you would want to opt into red side, give up first pick for first duo?
it depends on the meta. It depends on how many characters are strong, and if there's like no characters that are super strong, then it's really just blue side, so you can get your one trick player or someone who is extremely strong on one character on that with high priority. Especially if your opponents also have a player like that, then it's a blue side to try and deny. But if there are like two characters that are super strong in the meta, it sometimes feels better to go red side because you'll probably trade 1-for-1 or ban either, and then you'll just have two picks or an extra pick in that first round to play with.
Yeah. And right now, we're at the point where things are relatively balanced, right? So you'd rather prioritize that comfort pick or that, well, I suppose it's just that comfort pick. that's the name of the game. When you're looking there. So we'll see what happens. Of course, if this goes to game 3, it goes to Clarion Test Chamber, which could be interesting. We saw that, of course, earlier, and that was the Modern Magic pick in the EKC series, correct? I think it was.
I believe so.
So potential, of course, to see that there. Saya, why have these teams not started Striker Select? Are we figuring out what happened in the last? We must be figuring out what happened in the last game.
Yeah, just a little bit, but the draft has been sent, and well, it's an interesting one.
Oh boy,
There's certain energy awakening on the board that will warp this game.
Woohoo! Egoist start. Well, we talk about speed on Oni Village, and there it is. There more than ever. I feel like that rises the. I mean, you're going to be especially looking for Catalyst, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Team that rolls that in a draft will be feeling very good about themselves. Is there a world, though, where you see aerials taken? Probably not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you really want to play like I'm a goalie, which neither one of these two really want to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to be the option. I think we're probably going to see 6 Egoist, except for a very fringe case. Maybe if they decide to select Mako, then they do want the extra speed for the team on Mako,
Yeah.
so perhaps that could be a pick, but most likely going to be 6 Egoists here. We're going to see a lot of core flips, a lot of bursts of speed across the map.
And now we wait. Does Fiery have a Rasmus?
Yes.
I guess it's not worthwhile because you're on blue side here, but or you're on Modern Magic is on blue side rather.
Then there could be a wrench thrown into the plan here. There could be something like a bold Octavia play coming out from PPL. Not sure how successful that will be because one of like the ways to impede Octavia is actually Drakkar goalie. If you just tag the Octavia with Molten Bolt, you can force evade, you can get slowed down the Octavia and make it very easy to end the flow state. So I don't think it's the greatest pick.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like we've seen Drakkar in almost every game for Modern Magic, whether it be something Forgot played midfield or Ron P plays in the goalie. Something that's going to be comfortable, certainly for both of them. And hopefully we don't have to just talk in hypotheticals soon, and we can actually break down what happens in a draft. Was there word on what happened in the last game?
Just like awkward communication because we don't actually have a pause feature.
Ah,
Also,
well.
Forgot is cutting his birthday cake right now.
Happy birthday, Forgot! Woo!
That's crazy.
Wait, whose birthday was it? Was it last, like, Liftoff Launchpad?
Was it?
There was someone's
Was it
birthday?
Forgot? No, it wasn't Forgot. It was someone.
No, it could have been Forgot. There was somebody.
Well,
I don't remember who it was. It was either the last one or the one before.
yeah. Well, we'll see. So Achi is saying it's not Forgot's birthday.
Oh. He's just cutting his cake.
Oh no,
Casually.
it's his family celebration of his birthday. That was like a week ago. All good.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we get to celebrate his birthday from a week ago too. Happy birthday, Forgot.
Happy
Woo!
birthday, Forgot. Well, we're really waiting on this draft, huh?
Must be really good cake.
Oh, but we can talk about something else. Return to Form has defeated Bombaroo at 2-1.
Wow.
Return to Form, the team of Moffin, Leo Leon, and Hook. Bombaroo, the team of Fresh, Twee, and Miriameg.
Which I think a lot of people looking at that, and that's just a crazy pick.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going through Fresh's mind. I mean, his logic was like, yeah, okay, well, if we're not going to make it, then we want to lose to the people that aren't, like, going to be the best. But, like, really not setting yourself up for success. Return to Form, for those of you that don't know, Hook resets Moffin Koei and Leo Leon. Very weak roster that qualified to get up to this point, and now is one series away from making it back into the North American Strikers League. And Bomba Roulette is the last call slot, Fresh teaming with Twee and Miriameg. So we'll see whether or not they can come back. But the interesting thing about Group B, which I'm sure we'll get into, is there will be a Season 4 NASL player that does not make Season 5 because they got eliminated from this group.
Yeah, it's even more brutal if Ember's Flame manages to upset Cosmic Calamities. They're 1-1 right now. If that happens, then it's really brutal because Ember's Flame is then in a pretty solid spot while the other teams are kind of struggling. But if Cosmic Calamities win that, I think Bomber Roulette will be a little bit happier. But we'll see what happens. Anything could happen there.
All right, draft. We're in. Striker select. Estelle ban, Kai ban. Seems largely expected. First pick Rasmus also seems largely expected. And now it depends on what PPL is going to do here on the 2-3. It's hard to envision a world where they like didn't do something crazy to deny a pick.
Yeah.
Lock in the Mako anyway. Doubling down.
With the Juno as well. I do like the Juno pick here. Very good in a high core flip environment. The Slimes will put in a lot of work. And on the other side, there's that Drakkar. If the Kai is banned, that Drakkar is the pick for Ron P, who has shown very, very solid mechanics on it. And it looks like it's a Kazan login at the very end. So pretty much just the same comp here from Modern Magic. If it ain't broke, why change it at all? PP Legends trying something a little different.
Maybe there is actually a Mako goalie. Probably is, right?
Could be.
I mean, it's one or the other.
I mean, Bloom has played all three picks on the screen goalie. I'm pretty sure.
Probably. I believe it.
At some point, yeah.
But you were kind of talking about trying to go for like a lockdown goalie. Of these three, of course, Mako's the closest thing to it. And is not a bad pick, certainly, right? When you're thinking of more melee things.
Yep. Sorry, I looked at the chat. I made the mistake. They're talking
made
about
the
Kevin.
Who is Kevin?
Kazan auto-corrected.
Oh. Right. Well.
Well. We're gonna head into
Give
game.
it up for Kevin.
Oni Village. We'll see how well Kevin does.
Of course, PPL down a game. Need to be able to come back here and still want the opportunity to play in the highest league in North America that we can offer. And we're getting into it. We'll see as this pans out. It is expected, of course, in terms of who's locking in what on the side of Modern Magic, but now we'll see. We'll soon see what's on the other side. It does appear, well, one moment, please. Mako goalie. All right.
Yeah, okay.
My suspicions were correct.
Well, as we're heading in here, Oni Village, a map known for long games, and Bloom and Average Alex have actually opted for the aerials, and I mentioned this earlier, right? The Mako, the character most likely in the goalie position to go for the aerials for additional speed to the team. And of course, you'll take that additional projectile range too. It's a very secondary bonus, but it's very helpful. Average Alex, though, going for the dash range, additional projectile range as well over the Egoist. Definitely an interesting choice. It's good on the Juno, but definitely a choice to go with over Egoist here.
That puts a decent bit of pressure on where, if Catalyst comes up, where you deny that, right? Or trying to deny other sources of speed that could scale as the game goes on for Modern Magic, whose goal barriers are now both down. Coming out of the gate strong is PPL. Looking forward, can't find it there. Denied once. Forgot does have energy burst. Fiery comes in. Hooks it away with a crooked leverage. Trying to get it forward on the mounting descent, but will be denied there as well. Forgot low on stagger. Might have to be careful. Cyber swiping in and trying to just maintain possession right now is Modern Magic. Here's the energy burst up to Carmine, looking for the shot to the barrier, but Bloom is ready for it. Still has energy burst as well, but Average Alex leaping in. And we'll find the energy burst on the Blubbo bounce.
I guess that's why you picked the aerials there, the additional dash
That
range,
is why.
making it so difficult for Ron P to find an answer to that one. And with flip available, Ron P could be defending, but as good as Ron P is on the Drakkar, it is still mechanically quite intensive to defend against a Kazan, especially on the Oni Village barrier where the Kazan has many angles of attack and the Drakkar kind of has to guess one of them.
Really clutch and snare drums from downtown from Maloom connect and find the goal barrier, putting Ron P in a terrible spot. Now Fiery almost finds the goal in the pop-up, but to no avail this time. One strike war, but it doesn't matter when Average Alex just covers the entire length of the map.
Yeah, they're playing to their strengths here. They knew what they were doing, picking the aerials, and their positioning so that Fiery's putting on so much pressure, forcing Forgotten Ron P to answer, and then Average Alex finding the shot afterwards. And this is a very consistent way to play, it feels like, because with the limitations of Drakkar and Naimi, they just can't be there consistently enough to cover Average Alex.
Of course, that's the case now. The hope is potentially that this team, we expect, wants to go for those speed pickups as we go further along, right? And whether or not they can outspeed their opponent in this kind of way, who already has so much coverage thanks to the range of the Kazan, projectile range from Bloom, if literally cross-map diagonally, takes care of that with a strike shot on this Mako in that pairing, and putting it on quite well here. Fiery looks for the pop-up against that bottom corner barrier, but not able to find it there, and energy bursts are starting to come out. Forgot has his. Not burning it just yet. Now Carmine finds the barrier, gets it past Bloom. Here comes a glitch pop. Still has the energy burst. Does Forgot. Ron P tries to keep it forward here. Labos come down from above. Casted by Average Alex, but there's the pass. Forgot looks to take the shot. Can't quite follow it up. Cyberswipe doesn't have enough range at this point. And almost has the energy burst. Still has not used it. As the core continues to go around the world. Let's pop through. Here's the pendulum swing. Carmine to himself. Back pass over to Fiery, as a matter of fact. Not even find it there. Let's try that play again. Trapped in the snare drum this time. Forgot still holding on. There's the Firewall Sentry. Now it's going to go down to Carmine. Carmine again. Slightly wide. Forgot will cyber swipe. Just try to keep it forward, but now it's Fiery's turn. Just high on the barrier. Goes off the goal gate. Core going super fast right now. Fiery will poke it in, and now it almost goes as the gates open up. There's the energy burst from Ron P. Saves it away. Carmine, back pass, back to Forgot, back and forth. Who is still, might I remind you, holding on to an energy burst. Fiery finds it with topspin. Finally, something will go through. But what a long point. Doesn't matter that PPL ends up taking care of it. And that was that, Saya.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Forgot didn't use the flip at all. There was plenty of opportunities where it would definitely helped out. And now you're facing a 1-2 punch Juno. The core speed has just stepped up to another level. And if there's one thing Drakkar goalie struggles against, it's core speed in the open net and also on the barriers as well. It is so difficult to react to it when there's a Kazan, there's a Juno, and you know that crooked leverage is going to be strike warring your shotguns. Fighter Flight also falling down from Loom a little bit, and I think if you're Modern Magic, you have to be pretty concerned about this game. It might be a game 3.
Although, they picked up some incredibly strong stuff here. Extra speed for Carbine. Extra lock and load shotgun for Ron P. And perfect form on Aimee, of course. It will never be bad. Average Alex leaping in again. Can't quite find it. Here we are back in this very neutral state. You know, you mentioned that... Okay, well, never mind. I was going to talk about how well Ron P's been holding it down despite having to cover multiple angles for the Kazan, and Fiery's able to find 2 right there back to back.
He's been doing well,
you know.
But there's only so much you can do when Fiery's playing like that. Ron P, though, had to flip there. Could have used it defensively, but it was already a very unfavorable point for the side of Modern Magic. As Fiery once again pushing forward. Average Alex there to back him up. And Alex, the core speed hasn't really been abused yet, but we're probably going to see that here. Gets flipped off the edge while dashing forward. Fiery also about to be targeted. And suddenly this point has completely changed.
Still can't quite KO Fiery. Playing the elusive game for now. Carmine doesn't connect with Forgot. Core goes back on over to PPL. Energy burst at the ready for Carmine. Speed boost is going to run out, but immediately goes back into the whip flash. There's the energy burst. It finds the barrier. Death touch tries to pull it in. Pendulum swing won't quite connect. Forgot now has the egoist speed. Top spin comes out, goes down to the bottom corner. There's the well done glitch pop. And Forgot will help escort that one in alongside Carmine. First goal on the board now for Modern Magic.
That was a good play. Those are the types of plays they need, but it was all off the back of an over-aggressive dash by Average Alex, jumping to the edge of the map and getting flipped off. And those opportunities do not arrive too often, so Modern Magic, they still need to hold on. Ron P, well-timed strike to not get caught by the core speed of the slime, but it's only going to get crazier as this game goes on. Plenty of extra projectiles, and eventually the Drakkar will have no more buttons left as the barriers fall.
Impressive coverage so far, right? You know, we mentioned Ego at the very start with Egoist versus Aerials, but just how much influence PPL's able to have on the map because of each character's effective range is quite astonishing. You consider the Blobbo bounce, consider the extra spot size on Fiery, And of course, the projectile range right now from Bloom, in addition to the extra speed they get on occasion from that drum and bass. Things are looking incredibly well in a map that we thought might have been sided for Modern Magic. Energy Burst exchanged here as the goal is kept out. Still 1-1 in set 2. Here's an Energy Burst. Bloom denies. Well done. And now Fiery. Was that planned?
It was definitely coverage, but I think Ron P, a little bit of impatience, tried to just press the play forward, tried to give the team the core as soon as possible instead of going for a vertical clear. And when Fiery is there, that option will be covered, so it's got to be a little bit more wary, a little bit more careful as the barrier is taken. See, like, just a lack of lingering hitboxes from the Drakkar, the lack of creations is coming into play as Fiery is just dancing around absolutely everything that Modern Magic is trying to use to defend here. Almost KOing Forgot, gets to confirm that wasn't true. Forgot had time to press a button there.
Handful of unforced errors, it seems, so far from Modern Magic. So close to qualifying. Needs to hold it together here. And PPL trying to bring it back. There's that Catalyst awakening. It could get denied here by Average Alex on this Juno. Of course, you have to not pick Timeless Creator, but that's certainly the play at this point. Ron P picking up team player here, and more size for the Kazan comes through as well. I feel like Fiery just going to continue taking over the game with even more effective rage. There's the Chrono Boost for Bloom, picking up even more extra speed on the drum and bass with both aerials and Chrono Boost. And once again, you feel like you're walking away pretty spot on there. If you're PPL, meanwhile, Forgot gets Happy Star, sure, but even still, it is just not enough with how much pressure is being applied. Fiery back and forth with Average Alex, keeping the core alive. Carmine has to come back and bail out the core from between those two. We'll find a barrier for the trouble. Now, all of a sudden, could be potentially be putting a goal in now. But no, pop up. Fiery covers the left side of the map. Carmine looking for the top corner. Pendulum swing comes up just shy again. This Rasmus doesn't have any size to his name either. And not able to come up with anything here. Blobo Bounce comes in. Average Alex pops the energy burst and is nearly unreactable. 2 goals away from PPL to send us to a game 3.
The classic 1-2 punch on the flip, making that spend of meter even more effective than it usually is. This time, the Incendio drums do not catch the core, so the offense does slow down for a moment, but good patience by Alex, knowing the effective range of Forgot. And once again, it feels like it's PPL in control completely here on this open map as Average Alex goes in, forces out a flip from Forgot. The meter finally used, but for no effect, and Ron P forced the flip as well to avoid losing that last barrier. So many flips burned on the defense. The little effect from Modern Magic, and Bloom guards the barrier with his life, finds the angle, doesn't let the core slip behind the secondary, and a drum and bass does not prove to be an error like sometimes on the Mako. Fiery to the top side, covered by Forgot for the moment, but again, PPL in such a strong advantage right now.
Only need 2 goals here to send us to a game 3. Here comes the Firewall Sentry from Forgot. Carmine looking to try to get some work done, but it's just impossible trying to get this core through this Mako. Haven't really been able to do it just yet, and then keeps coming up just short on the pendulum swing. The Juno flying all around you. And the extra size on the Kazan slips it in, but Bloom comes up once again with the perfect pitch from downtown across map. Sends it home, gets a goal of his own on the board, and it's game point for PPL.
They still need to finish this off to head to a 3rd game for NASL qualification. Modern Magic not out of it just yet. They still open up the barriers. They still have the flip available. And they will find the KO. Ooh. Not quite the goal yet, but honestly the KO is even more valuable if you're eventually going to get the goal like this. Energy reset on Bloom. And maybe this game's not over just yet.
might not be over just yet, but still an uphill battle. Fiery with possession. There's the drum and bass with the extra speed coming out right now. PPL still has control. Ron P does have an energy burst to use defensively. Whiplash tries to pull it in with the death touch there. Carmine able to find one as Average Alex can't defend. And now has to just try to poke this core around Fiery. Ron P holds on for now, but there's the energy burst right on top of the barrier, it feels like. But it doesn't matter. The core goes over to Carmine, who sends it in. Might be game point for PPL, but all of a sudden, Modern Magic in a position to shut it down.
Might have been an overextension by PPL. Average Alex got the barrier, but the ricochet sent it to the other side of the map. The possession wasn't maintained by PPL, and they lost the flip off of that to a point that they lost. And now Fiery's taken out with a flip available. Shades of Forgot from earlier in the game, but this time in the favor of the team that has Forgot. As the flip is not used, but the barrier is still taken by Alex. A clutch slime will keep the game alive, but Fiery backwards primary, but it's not over yet.
Open goal gates on both sides. Forgot and Carmine trying to mount the pressure, especially with the energy burst of Forgot, but one is used. There's another double KO. The set is won by Modern Magic by some kind of miracle. Comes through with that, and now need to come up with something for the rest of this game. It starts here, though, and it could even start with a second spark, maybe here.
Yeah, but that does give over
2 sparks.
That does give over Hotshot to the Juno. Hotshot 1-2 punch. The core speed's getting quite ridiculous, and the cooldown refund is there as well. Rapid fire for Forgot is very useful, but the unstoppable against Rasmus Aimi is so valuable for Bloom. Gonna have a lot better time holding, and that guy was holding for so long already. I still think this draft will favor the side of PPL here.
It feels that way, certainly with the Super Surge on Kazan. We're talking about effective range and Hotshot on the Juno, so a lot of cores can go their way, but I've seen this Modern Magic side make do with much worse in terms of their Awakenings draft. And Carmine going to pick up Gold Barrier there. One down on each side. Firewall Sentry not going to help out a ton other than to just keep that core down there on the bottom. Fiery coming in, though. Look at how big this Kazan is. Double size Awakenings. And now there's the energy burst right in for the barrier. But Average Alex is back in time with his own. Uses that to send it away. And Strike War won by Fiery. Sends it down, and Bloom once again has an impact with a perfect pitch. Here comes Carmine, though. Energy burst comes through. The cyber swipe just a little bit late. Back to the other side of the pitch where Average Alex is trying to find Fiery, but no, Carmine pulls it right back in with the death touch. Won't have that for a moment. And that was almost very dangerous from Bloom, but is able to get it out of there. Fiery finds the energy burst, will try to get it in, and now tries to steal it back away. Doesn't matter, still finds the cross up. And is able to put it to the bottom corner. 2 goals away once more for PPL.
Still an incredibly close game here, but well done by Average Alex and Fiery to combine on that play. Again, Ron P can't cover the entire goal too effectively against this fast core, and PPL know that, are trying to abuse that as much as possible, but they're getting caught up in the corner offense. Carmine and Forgot are playing much better on the offense in that bottom right corner. We've seen it multiple times here, and of course they're stuffing the defense as well. Flips available though for PPL. This could be huge, but will they be in a position to use it is the question, because right now it's awkwardly in the midfield. The slime is a good mix-up, but enough time for Ron P to react.
Molten Bolt is out, slows things down as well for just a little while longer. Average Alex a little low on stagger, so is Carmine actually. Both have to be a little careful. His topspin doesn't quite connect, but Carmine actually not able to pick that one up thanks to the energy burst of Bloom. Saves it away. And the barrier will live to see another few seconds at the very least. But now gets KO'd by the Blobo. Taken down, and PPL has the power play. Blobos are out. Alex looking for Fiery. Just keeps going around, but it goes so fast thanks to the 1-2 punch in Hotshot. And it's just nearly impossible to predict where it goes. Game point again for the PP Legends.
Core speed coming into play here. Average Alex. Well, half Average Alex and half Juno, honestly, the character. Really making sure that PPL can overwhelm Ron P on the defense there. Good strike timing by Fiery. And again, the slimes are starting to come out with both these core speed awakenings. Doesn't even need overtime for the red cores to start. Pass down to Bloom, looking to try to get around Carmine, but we've seen Carmine outplay here before. A missed strike, but Bloom is still there to cover. But Average Alex trying to make it so that Ron P does not have a good time, but forgot, has the coverage and is building up a flip. So Modern Magic are still in this point.
One goal barrier up on both sides. Carmine slowly getting closer to Energy Burst, looking for the outplay, but Fiery goes forward and slip. Ron P ready for the denial. Gets sent away. Forgot still has his own as well. There's the Energy Burst, but the core once again finds the barrier thanks to the Blobos and the speed they provide to the core. Fiery looking forward. There's the perfect pitch. Keeps it up here for PPL. Forgot will cyber swipe in. Tries to set up the Firewall Sentry, but to no avail. Fiery pokes it around. There's the pop-up. Still denied. Ron P holds once more. There's the Energy Burst, though. Hit Average Alex will send it home. We're going to a Game 3 with a NASL qualification on the line.
Yeah, and in the other bracket, Cosmic Calamities. Undeterred, they do defeat Ember's Flame. So Cosmic Calamities versus Return to Form winner makes it. But that series will have to wait on the Game 3 of this one, where PPL and Modern Magic are both in it, and they both look like a team that can make it happen.
I feel like it comes down, like, we've seen both teams be incredibly successful when things start going their way and when they can draft to their advantage, right? In the last game, of course, Modern Magic picked up that extra speed, was able to take care of business, snowball things under control there. Here, you saw Fiery pick up a lot of size. Average Alex picks up the aerials on the Juno, which gets just that much extra speed, and then not to mention the core speed. And Bloom, by the way, you don't think of Mako as an offensive goalie, but yet he had 1 goal, 5 assists, even still was still incredibly involved in both the drum and bass, but also in terms of that perfect pitch. The ensnare drums came in every once in a while on the offensive side just as much as the defensive side, thanks to the aerials and strike shot combination that sent things to the other side of the map. So this one's going to be interesting, Saya, and we're going to Clarion Test Chambers, where things will shift up between every point.
Yeah, PPL selecting blue side here. We'll see the Awakening draft in just a second. But this is a very, very different map from Oni Village. It's definitely closer to that Game 1, to the Night Market, than it is to that Game 2. So we'll have to see if PPL can show a different look in this one.
Time will tell, of course, and see what goes through. What is going on?
I mean, the Sorn guy is trying to sabotage not only his own team, but also PPL by asking Average Alex for coaching about Rivals 2.
That is crazy. And Average Alex is responding, dude, go play the game! Think about the draft, lock in!
Well, thank you, Average Alex, and wow, this is a really normal start compared to what we're seeing today. This is like vanilla Omega Strikers.
Whoa. So, does PPL try to deny away the Rasmus?
Honestly, I think it's a very good play to first pick Rasmus here. Because although
it could be, especially with Big Fish on.
Yeah. Because Carmine has a lot of other characters, right? But no, they don't decide to do so. And we'll probably see Rasmus being picked immediately by Modern Magic in this 2-3. Or some might say R1, R2.
Some might say League of Legends pilled over here.
Yo, FlyQuest. Let's go FlyQuest. Make them believe. FlyQuest did make
them believe. Made me believe, that's for sure.
Yeah, but as expected, it will be the Rasmus being locked in for Carmine yet again. PPL must be confident they could deal with it, because I really think that it would have been the right pick to take that away.
And it's not even right like the Rasmus has been an incredible threat. But I think it's something where you get another player off of their comfort pick. And that could open up some possibilities for you. It's not like Carmine, can't play any other striker in the game. But when you're off comfort, you don't feel as good. It's game 3. It's qualification on the line. Nerves are incredibly high right now for both these players. This is what the past 2 months have been leading towards, is this very game. Something to be said there, but instead, opting back to go and lock in comfort.
I do like this.
See what you do.
Yeah. Although I think the Rasmus and I would have been a good option. I do like the Mako lock and I do like the Asher. And I think it's going to be very reliable against the Kai. So we'll see how it goes.
Ron P now?
No, it's Kai.
Oh, it's Kai. Yeah, duh.
I
Okay,
mean,
never
that
mind.
guy was once a Kai one trick.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're ready to go now. We'll be looking at PPL versus Modern Magic. Basically a best of 1 now, but with all of the other mental stresses that come with a best of 3. I'll have to see who comes out on top.
League qualification on the line. One of these teams will play against the best of the best in North America. The other will be sent to play against the second best 10 teams in North America. And you want to be able to call yourself the best and play against the best. Both these teams feel like they've had their fair share of playing in NASA. They want to go forward here, and we'll keep going through in this game 3. Going to be heartbreaking, Saya, for the team that loses here.
Yeah, it's been a journey for all of these players. It will be the end of it for them. There's still the road ahead. There's still the leagues to play in. But the qualifiers are by far the highest stakes competition in Omega Strikers. So we'll just have to see how it goes here. But with the way how they're playing right now, I have confidence in PPL because they're playing a very stable composition. They have very clear ways to get it past Ron P. While on the other side, Bloom was holding it down so well last game, and I think Bloom could do it again.
We'll see if he's able to, but already the magic tricks are being pulled, Sai, as the core goes flying one way or the other. The Death Touch pulls it right back into that drone, and set up by the forward duo here of Modern Magic. They'll need a few more tricks to come away with one, much like pulling out the rainbow collection of handkerchiefs that just keeps going and going and going and going. They'll need more to come away with this one. Ron P finds a KO with the barrage there. Forgot Lifeline. Gets forward, heals up here, and gonna have to be careful with what else is left to come. While might not have capitalized on it, at least some energy on the board now for Modern Magic. And Carmine still holding, but now has to be careful. There's an energy burst as Forgot dives in to the Obscura area. Can't quite find it. And as you mentioned, Siam Bloom holding it down. The defensive line for PPL is holding strong.
Yeah, but there's some slight instances of missed damage from PPL, and those are really adding up. Forgot and Carmine are barely staying alive right now, and if their damage had been more efficient, it could have been the power play in their favor. But now the healing is compensating. Now this barrier is about to fall, but a good flip will send the core forward. We'll stall it out for a little while longer. With how this map works, the same way it worked in beta, the core will just go around and around.
Around and around and around. It keeps going. Now, oh my goodness. Piercing shot finds the demon angle. Pass.
There's a reason Average X was picking pass, I guess, because the moment he got an ability on the core, it did go in.
Carmine, oh, Death Touch, has the energy burst here, gets it out of the ensnare drums, finds the goal barrier, now looking for the goal himself. Can't find it, has to be careful here as well. Will be forced to retreat and pick up the orb on the backside. Lifeline comes out of Forgot 2 to heal back up to at least half. And now passed back to himself. On the pendulum swing, it'll drift slightly away. Trying to just keep this away from the hands of Carmine is what PPL's doing right now, and doing it to decent success, at least since the goal gates have been open. Another piercing shot from Alex. Finds its mark. Fiery starts to walk in, trying to use that primary to stuff it through. Not able to do so, and that Rose Warp is just a bit late. Bloom can't react in time. And it's the leading goal on the board for Modern Magic.
Bit of magic there from Carmine, and almost some crazy sorcery from Ron P. Average Alex barely surviving on the edge from the Giga Blast. That would have been a huge pickup, and now Ron P is looking massive. Going to help out on the defense quite a bit. Some easy strikes to be made. And Average Alex yet again being hit near the edge, earning a barrier. If they can keep it away from Carmine here, it's looking really good for PPL.
Feels like it's the name of the game, and feels like it might be a little easier to do on Project Maelstrom with the corners in the center here, preventing some of your angles to get it to that forward. Bloom says you like that orb so much here, you could be trapped next to it. Carmine's looking to take it, but no, Average Alex steals it away, yet still goes to the opposite side of the pitch. And one goal barrier goes down. Now Rose warping in. Looking for the other barrier with Crystal Thorns, but no. Not this time, and now we're in overtime. Fiery low, has to be careful here, just trying to survive in that corner. Meanwhile, Core comes in. Pat Splitter almost comes through to find the goal. Goal barrier, I should say, anyway. Still keeping this down in this corner. Ron P holding on to this barrier despite just how quick things have been flying, and Bloom can't get out of the drum and bass fast enough, but even still, there is finally the KO. Carmine has the Project Maelstrom orb. That's not enough for now. It gets back over to him. Forgot looking down, has to try to stuff it through. No, he'll take the goal himself, and he'll put it in. 3-1 is the first set scoreline.
And in a game that is so stressful, in a game where the loser goes to NASA and the winner goes to NASL, it is Modern Magic who take the first set, and there are plenty of directions this draft could go. That single spark of agility looks promising, but so does the team player. In situations like these where the core speed is a little crazy, and Ron P will prioritize that. And also their team will pick up the spark of agility for Forgot's scaling here. In the end, Siege Machine Timeless Adrenaline Rush left, and Adrenaline Rush could be a win condition, but I don't think KOs are going to come too easily.
Yeah, it's hard to say it's a win condition on Asher, right? Can get KOs, certainly, but unlikely, certainly, to say the least. And other thing, of course, Forgot picking up the spark means that now potentially that scaling could come through. But if speed is king, and Forgot can keep up, he can keep that pressure forward, keep that core over to Carmine, and try to send it through. Not to mention the team player, of course, that Ron P picks up, trying to get it there even faster. Beautiful pass to yourself out of the pendulum swing from Carmine. And they're another goal ahead, and another goal towards the North American Strikers League.
Looking like a very stable game now for Modern Magic. It looks like they're playing their game plan very comfortably. And Fiery and Average Alex might be a little over-focusing on the Adrenaline Rush win condition, because while they're doing that, Carmine is just running around the map, finding opportunities, picking off barriers, but this time it's Alex who finds hit stun on the goalie, but same can be said for Carmine, who does the same thing. On the other side, a priority pick in this game will definitely be that unstoppable for both of the goalies, and it will probably have to be denied later on. If Bloom gets it, it'll be huge for PPL. Fiery pushed forward, but strikes before using the primary. An opportunity perhaps wasted for PPL, and weird bounces off the corner of the trapezoid as PPL's offense stalls out to two of them.
Giga Blast sends it at an awkward angle as well. Carmine stuck for a moment. Can't quite get a lot done there, but the cooldown's coming back online, you have to imagine. Still not opting to go down for that orb because he knows it's certain doom if he decides to go for it. Now, trying to play the offensive role is Forgot here. Doesn't use the energy burst quite yet. Still trying to look to pass it forward, but now both of the forwards on the side of Modern Magic are starting to look a little low. Forgot trying to move in, but Fiery still in position.
Ooh.
A huge threat in the goal box, and just in the right place at the right time to send it through.
Well played. Perfect placement. And Fiery this time, the primary button right on time to make sure Ron P has no answers to that one. PPL were in a bit of a tough spot last point, but this time back to neutral. They just got to get away from Carmine, but Carmine just has so much mobility and ability to really just place the strike so well, survives the onslaught, stays standing, and this open net is such an issue for PPL.
Certainly is. We'll see whether or not they're able to keep it away. Moom, of course, no stranger to using these projectiles to play keep away. There's the snare drums coming out again, drum and bass, here we are. But it's only a matter of time before that pressure mounts, before Forgot can try to get it forward to Carmine, and here that is again, Rose Warp in position. Keeps it away for a second, energy burst used, committed by Bloom. And Fiery now has the Project Maelstrom orb, looking for the goal barrier on the other side. Ron P will use the energy burst to get it away, and it goes all the way around. Oh no, Bloom was right there, just couldn't find the angle or something, and goal goes in. One step closer.
Bit of a curse of strike shot there. Bloom went for the strike shot instead of the strike, where the strike would have been adequate. Happens at least once a tournament stream. That's just how it is when you're playing strike shots. Sometimes you're hitting all of them, but at least once you miss, and that next point is just catastrophic. PPL were in it, but now it is all Modern Magic. 2-0 in sets, a draft in their favor. Carmine, the carry on first pick, and so much in the draft that could be devastating.
It's probably just Egoist here, no? Egoist or Fight or Flight, you've got a decent number of options, but yeah, the Egoist, certainly a pickup you want. Will trade the Fight or Flight away, and now things really start to open up for you. Take the Chrono Boost on Average Alex, who's played incredibly well on a lot of the Blazing Pace so far, and starting to see where a lot of this team's successes come from in terms of their speed, their ability to keep the core with one another, and finally send it through. This team is one set away from qualifying for the highest league in North America.
The highest level of competition in Omega Strikers could be theirs if they can close this one out. A lot of damage being poured on. The center claimed by Fiery. This guy's Knife's Edge could be going for a KO, but it's caught on terrain. Can't find a knockback onto Forgot, and that opportunity disappears. It is still one barrier to one barrier, but Carmine has so much presence here. The barrage from Ron P is almost enough, and they do hold on, but they're only holding on, and Forgot will finally find a strike that seals the deal. The net is open now, and one push is all it takes. Can they chip down Carmine fast enough? But that guy's healing. That guy's back to half stagger. Forgot is low, but still has the flip, still has the meter, and healed up all the way. And suddenly the game turns around yet again as Carmine becomes absolutely massive. Forgot seals the deal, and they're 2 points away.
2 energy bursts for both teams now. Forgot didn't elect to use his there. And I think the tail Saya in this game starts to show on the experience. Fiery about to take over to level 6. Carmine level 8 right now. Just has had such a big influence on the game, especially compared to the brawler on the other side. And Average Alex trying his best to keep up, but isn't quite all the way there. Forgot down to Carmine. There's the energy burst used again. It's over to Fiery here, and a beautiful pass, and well done there. Bounce house shenanigans can't happen. Snare drums are out, but even still, the core stays out of the net. Hats off to Ron P.
Yeah.
Standing ovation for that one. As now the pressure mounts. Forgot sent flying away off the barrier. Ron P slows the core down with the barrage for just a second. Average Alex looking to pass to himself off the barrier, and now it gets up to Fiery, equalizing the set.
crazy defense from Ron P against that earlier push, but PPL managed to hold on the defense. They stand strong, and they figure out a way to get it back to Fiery. And that map is so volatile. The Bounce House, Project Base Drop, such a crazy map that people have likened it to Inky Splash Zone. But PPL weather the storm. They find some favor here. They find a flip. Average Alex low. They push all in for the barrier. They figure it out. The flip is deflected, but they're still in a great position.
Low for a second, but now no fear of getting KO'd. It doesn't matter. Fiery's still there. It'll find the top corner. Now they're up in this set. Have potential to keep extending the length of this game. Saya, as this goes on, potentially an Awakenings draft, what does PPL need?
I'm once again thinking about that unstoppable on Bloom will help so much on the defense, but Fiery as well has great awakenings for getting in there, some speed, some power, anything to play the win con of maybe the adrenaline rush, maybe something else would be valuable to keep up with the pace of this game. And Average Alex, some more core speed would do a lot of good. That Giga Blast almost gets it done for Ron P, but Carmine just has so much presence yet again, so difficult to deal with.
Incredibly difficult to deal with as it's still in that corner. Now it's just transitioned over to the other corner close to the goal barrier, and that'll be it. Forgot has the energy burst. It's right in front of the net. It'll send it home. Qualification point is on the line right now for Modern Magic.
One more point's all it takes. PPL, they need this one. It's on Project Expanse here, which can be crazy, and we've seen that both teams can have crazy bounces off the side, but it's all Modern Magic on the offense for the first part at this point. Finally to the other side, but again, Carmine doing so well at keeping it pressed up.
Expanse is out once, but even still, goal barriers covered on both sides. Ron P, though, burns the energy burst. Won't have that. Doesn't matter. The forwards able to open up the goal gates. There's the goal. There's the league in grasp right there on the open net. Carmine looking forward will KO Bloom. And the goalie is down. Death Touch comes up just a little bit short. Doesn't find the goal just yet. Average Alex has dropped back, and PPL is slowly killing this penalty away. Bloom back online. Fiery in position here, preventing the pass from Carmine over to Forgot. Still looking for it, but Forgot's on the top side. They're still keeping it alive here. Bloom holding, will finally, barely be able to find a save, but no! Finally, the core will go in. The players' praises have been sung from players in the North American Strikers League, and now these magicians are among them. Welcome to Modern Magic for their qualification in the North American Strikers League Season 5.
It was hard fought too. It was not a qualifier. That was them just dominating opponents that were below their level. PPL made it very difficult, but in the end, Modern Magic, they kept possession. They were unrelenting, and this is a team that knows how to play their offense. Well done, and welcome to NASL.
And you've got to feel for PPL. So close yet again. Stuck in NASA yet again. And it's just rough because you watch these rosters, their gameplay is solid. Just can't pull it out sometimes. And always somebody just a little more slightly skilled. Right back over to it. But of course, hard to be particularly upset at that one. I mean, Modern Magic played incredibly well over the course of the entire day today. How far did they push EKC? And if they did that today, what are they going to do in the league, Saya?
Yeah, but the real question is, teams in the league are more flexible, right? Modern Magic got to play their game.
That's true.
Today. They got Ron P. Kai, they got Carmine, Rasmus. And so there's still a lot of question marks around Modern Magic. But for today, they can just ignore them. They're in the league. They're in NASL. Who cares?
Who cares? Of course, we'll talk more about them much later. But up next, folks, we have to get moving over to the second group. More qualifications are coming along. Return to Form versus Cosmic Calamities for a NASL spot is right on the other side of this break. You won't want to miss this match coming right up.